You are now live. Yeah, it's Lock West in the morning. Dash Radio, the spin room. You know what it is.
What it do, party peoples? We back at it again, man. On this Monday, starting off another great week. I hope everybody's doing well. I'll be your man, Bigg Pwee from the spin room. Got to get my crew in the building, man. My ride of hand, my ride or die, Big Lez. What it do? DJ Ron, see your girlfriend's favorite DJ, and K Stephanie. How's everybody doing, man?
Perfect.
Good, man. Beautiful, man. All right, before we get the show started, you guys know how we do each and every day. Please, down below at the bottom, click on that subscription, man. Subscribe to this YouTube page. Click on that bell because every single day we post a new video. Tomorrow, we got Big Pwee's One Gotta Go and Pee-wee's Pet Peeve. Plus, K Stephanie, she got her TV popping off, man. So you guys don't want to miss out, all right? Plus, if you guys want to advertise or sponsor the Spin Room show, please send us an email at the Spin Room. That's THASPINROOM. Be part of the movement, man. All right? We want you guys be part of the Spin Room. So once again, if you want to advertise or sponsor the Spin Room, send us an email and we'll make sure it happens. All right, let's get the party started. Big Lez with the Entertainment Report.
Yes, let's do it. And I don't know how much of a party this whole Entertainment Report is going to be because this week has been very tough, very interesting, and filled with emotions. And we all really haven't had a chance to talk. So I'm going to save the Breonna Taylor conversation to last. Okay. But in between that, we've got some prison talk and we've got some COVID updates, and that's really nothing to smile about either. So it's been a real interesting week. So let's start off with my girl, Vivica Fox. She tested negative for COVID-19. And she did a self-home personal test because she was set to do Red Carpet E! Live from the Red Carpet pre-show alongside Juliana Rancic, who of course has been at E! for like 20-something years, who also tested positive for COVID-19. So neither one of them were able to do the show. But what happened with Vivica's test is that she took her own self-home test, which showed that she was positive. And then I believe the next day she had an actual professional come over, retest her, and within a couple of days the test showed that she was negative for COVID-19. She says that she's feeling great, but of course they did miss that E! opportunity. Juliana Rancic, however, she had to pull out of the virtual event. She did show up during the broadcast, just to say that she was sorry that she couldn't be there, but her son and her husband both tested positive, and so they're home quarantining. And again, we just wish that everybody takes the necessary precautions to test themselves. Go get professional testing so you don't have that scare for no reason. But either way, assume that the answer is positive and take those precautions by social distancing and wearing your face mask. So,
hey, so did Vivica just want to take the test on her own? Was she getting symptoms? Why did it pop up that she just wanted to take the test?
Well, because they were supposed to do the E! Live virtual Red Carpet, and there were some people who were in the same room together. So, you know, the new production standards, the protocol is everyone has to be tested, just like with the NBA and everything else. Just like we saw with Jimmy Kimmel hosting the Emmys, and there were a couple people, him and Jennifer Aniston, in the same room. You have to get tested before, and even though they were still 6 feet from each other, just to walk into the building, you have to show that piece of paper that says you are negative. And so they had to make sure that they were tested, and better safe than sorry, you know?
Most definitely, and it's sad. I hope her and her family is okay, the ones that tested positive, and everything is good.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Bobby Schmurder, his parole was denied. He's going to be stuck in prison until 2021. He has not been helping his own case, though, while he's been doing it time. Now, remember, he racked up 11 violations, and, you know, good behavior clearly weighs heavily on the parole board. So he's going to be in custody until the very end of his maximum sentence, which happens to be my birthday, 2021. Now, he copped a plea back in September 2016 to conspiracy to possess weapons, possession of a weapon, and a whole bunch of other charges, including conspiracy to commit murder. That was tossed out. But he initially was sentenced to 6 to 7 years, and he has been in prison since 2014 in December. And that's a shame that you just, you know, it's hard. No matter, even if you're trying to do good, I think in prison, regardless of what his track record is, there are people who are testing you, pushing you. You got to have, you know, watch your back while you're in there. Remember, I told you that story of the guy who went in there for signing somebody else's name on a check. and ended up having to kill someone to protect himself, and then racked up all these charges and got life in prison and stuff. So it's just crazy.
It is. It's sad. When's your birthday, Les? December what?
December 11th, national holiday. Come on,
There
Pete.
it is, man. See, I knew it was in December. I knew it was in December. So he's not getting out of jail until December 11th, 2021.
Absolutely. Hopefully I'll be like in Bali or Thailand by then, and I'll send him a cheers from the island.
Hello.
You know? Now, you remember your boy Loon, who was down with Bad Boy? Loon was released from prison after 9 years. He went in on May 2012, was sentenced to 14 years of imprisonment. July 2013, he got arrested for conspiracy with intent to traffic 1 or more kilograms of heroin. And so amid this whole COVID-19 pandemic effects in prison, he was granted an early release. And the judge felt that he was not a threat to society. So, you know, it was back in 2008 when he quit the whole music industry. He converted to Islam. You know, he had been convicted of a felony at the age of 18 back in 93. He was also convicted of another felony back in 2006. And so with all those felonies and stuff, anything that he got arrested for, he had to cop to. So he actually, you know, decided to take responsibility for his small role in this whole drug scenario. And he said it was the hardest decision he ever had to make in his life. But he adopted the name Amir Junaid Muhadith, and he plans on working to create prisoner rehabilitation programs. And he also, of course, wants to launch a production company and release a TV show or movie. And
That's dope.
Him and Puffy, you know, they got together, had a conversation. And, you know, Puffy's always open to dialogue, to growth, to moving on and everything. He's probably one of the most, I guess, forgiving people, or whether he's looking at it as a business opportunity or not. But granted, he doesn't have to do business with him. So, you know.
Yeah, that's dope. And I'm glad to see that, you know, he's doing something positive and helping out. He's been there, and he's helping, trying to get some folks out of prison and get them on their good foot when they get out also, because I know I've heard a lot of when people go in, coming out is a difficult thing to adjust. So, if, you know, I'm happy for Loon.
Yeah, absolutely. So our girl Cardi B and her sister reportedly have sued for defamation after the MAGA beach incident happened. And you know, more money, more problems. Now what's going down is that video footage has surfaced of an incident involving her and her sister's girlfriend. Her girlfriend, Hennessy's girlfriend, Hennessy Carolina is her name. And her and her girlfriend were out there on the beach, and you know, things just got a little left, and people were like antagonizing them. And Hennessy approached them, of course, sitting, threatening, and they were wearing MAGA hats. And in the video that Cardi B posted showed Caliendo, calling Hennessy, her girlfriend, Michelle Diaz, out of their name and harassing the couple because they're a gay couple. And so it just went left. So we'll see what happens with all of this stuff. She doesn't need that on her plate right now.
Right.
Dealing with the divorce and everything else that's going on. So I'll keep you guys posted on what happens. And, you know, maybe there's some justice in there, but the way things are turning now, it doesn't seem like black or brown can get justice on anything, but we're going to touch that in a second.
Yes.
Yeah, we absolutely will. Shout out to what happened September 22nd. It was National Voters Registration Day. It was a really busy, productive day on all fronts. Gabrielle Union Wade hosted an all-black cast table read of an episode of the NBC show Friends. And this is the second episode that showed on Zoom where it happens. You know, they're doing like these live table reads of white TV shows, but doing it with an all-black cast, and then using, you know, saying, you know, make sure you fill out your census or make sure you register to vote. So they're using that platform to go ahead and push all these initiatives forward. So included in this was Sterling K. Brown as Ross, Ryan Michelle Baith as Rachel, Uzu Adubo as Phoebe, Aisha Hines as Monica, Jeremy Pope as Chandler, and Kendrick Sampson as Joey. And of course, it was directed by Pee Wee's girlfriend, Sally Richardson Whitfield.
No, that's Ron C's.
Ron C's girl.
That's Ron C's.
Exactly, that's Ron C's
She's
girl.
talented.
Right. So, and then of course, we also, our guy, DJ Cassidy, he did a whole music that him and D Nice actually did as well. And then Michelle Obama really opened up the platform, and she had a conversation with Aisha Curry, Stephen Curry's wife, and with Chris Paul and just talking about voting and initiative and how important it is to register to vote. So it was a really, really big day. And I hope everybody in every state is not just checking your registration status, but realizing that there's early voting available. And we'll put the schedule up so you guys can see it. Every state has an early voting day. So get in there so that you have no excuse and they can't try and shut you out like they're trying to do.
And I went on today and I made sure that my name was registered to vote. So again, you can go to vote.org, and make sure that your name is registered to vote and they did not purge you or take you off, or, you know, you can also find out where your polling place is. So you can do all of that too. So go to vote.org.
It's urgent, people. No matter what you feel about the candidates, this is the choice that we have. Choose the lesser of two evils, but no vote at all is choosing for the wrong one. So get your asses down there and let's do what we need to do. All right, Kodak Black is suing the Federal Bureau of Prisons for torture and humiliation. He revealed that he was being denied access to a rabbi, and he's gone all out and sued them completely, along with the director and the warden of Big Sandy, where he's currently doing time. He claims that his rights were violated, and you know, ever since he got to the facility a whole year ago. So he mentioned an incident where the guards at Big Sandy allegedly beat him up when he got there, held him down, were flicking his testicles while the beat down happened. He said one of the ways that the guards punished him and humiliated him was by making him wear a backless paper gown for 6 hours with no access to a bathroom, which allegedly caused him to pee and defecate on himself. So back in November, he was sentenced to 46 months in federal prison for allegedly buying a gun in his home state of Florida. And you know, the New York sentence is going to be also served concurrently with the federal one. He's been in and out of detention centers for years. I don't know how much a judge or a court's going to listen to him. I mean, wrong is wrong and right is right about human treatment in the prison system, but we'll see what happens. Let's just hope he can make it through and reform himself the way that Loon did.
Yeah, but we all know there's crazy things that happen in prison, man. And I wish that, you know, this type of stuff gets, just like the police reform.
Yeah.
I think prisons should be the same exact way.
Shout out to our girl, Janelle Monáe. She's leading the revolution in stirring music video called Turntables. There's a lot of footage with Black luminaries, the past and present, and the visual of the singer's powerful protest anthem. And she says, quote, "We are in the middle of a revolution, right? What's a revolution without a song, and a song without a revolution?" So all the lines that she's rapping about have liberation, elevation, education, of course, harmonic gospel influences in there. And recently she was live on her IG, and she had Maxine Waters there, and they had a really great conversation. So, you know, Janelle Monáe is really doing her thing, putting her money where her mouth is. And my biggest thing for her is that she always tells a story of how many people told her that she could never make it, she never could sing, she wasn't talented enough, and now who's got the last laugh? So props to her.
Because she's doing big things, man. She got a new movie that's out right now, too.
Yeah,
and Antebellum?
Yep, Antebellum.
Antebellum, yeah.
So, which
Yeah.
I haven't seen yet, but I'm definitely going to be checking it out this week. So for sure. Shout out to Time Magazine. They did their Time 100 of America's most influential people. We all know that that list has been around since it was first published back in 1999. And ABC actually did a whole live TV show, which was really kind of dope. They had The Weeknd perform, and this was the first time they'd ever done this broadcast, which happened on voter registration day. So again, that day was very, very busy. And right now we're talking about the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Harry and Meghan, who were there, who are recognized, but our girl Meg Thee Stallion. And the way they did it too this year was that they had celebrities who have been part of Times 100 kind of honor or pass the torch to them. So
nice.
Cardi P. Henson did a tribute to Meg Thee Stallion via Rock Nation, just saying that she's proud of her in all that she's done and what she's doing. Don't let anybody, you know, rain on her parade.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Missy Elliott honored Dapper Dan. Denzel Washington honored Michael B. Jordan. The Black Lives Matter founders, those three women were honored. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Tyler Perry, J Balvin, all part of Time Magazine's 100 Most Influential People. So again, that magazine is still in print and on newsstands. And of course, you can go to the website or Google and just to find out. Jennifer Hudson, Selena Gomez, so many other people. Really, really dope.
That's dope. Congratulations to all of them, man. That's big moves.
For sure, for sure. And for those of you who love Power Book 2 Ghost. Woo! Stars has renewed it for a second season. It's coming back.
But you knew that was gonna happen anyway, Les. I mean, that whole series has made Stars as big as it is right now because of that.
They shut them down, or really just kind of blew them up, because they became the most watched new series in Stars history, scoring 7.5 million global views. So I know centers like this, like, say what?
For real.
Don't talk to me. You can't talk to me.
Right now, my man is making all the right moves right now, man. You know, and realizing, like, you know, music now is just a hobby.
Yep.
You know, he's getting that movie and TV check now.
Yeah, man. So I do want to say, for those of you who watch ESPN, there's a new analyst coming to the network, Vince Carter. He just signed a multi-year contract.
Oh, I thought you was about to say you, Les.
Oh, no. I wish. I used to watch sports.
I thought that's the reason why you was bringing it up. I thought you was about to say you. We was about to say, yeah, woo.
When I jump in the locker room, hey, fellas.
Yeah. Vince Carter is all right. You all right. You all right, cool, man. You retired. You an analyst just like all the other ball players do. Okay.
43, and he was one of the oldest to play in the NBA, 22-year career, doing his thing, and he spanned it over 4 decades, the 1900s, 2000, 2010s, and 2020. So he did his thing, moved Alex English out of the way, 19th on the NBA All-Star scoring list. So congratulations to him. He's going to start very soon, and you know, glad that you can go ahead and make some more minutes with your career. That longevity is the key to life. All
Absolutely.
Right,
let's get into it, Les. I'm itching to get into this conversation.
Let's get into it. We all know that we talked about a couple of weeks ago that we saw a glimmer of hope with the Breonna Taylor case, initially with the $12 million settlement. We don't know what's in between the pages of that deal, right? We don't know if that we give you $12 million, but we're not going to convict any of these cops. We're maybe going to fire them, but they're not going to serve any time. Probably a non-disclosure agreement. They can't talk about it. $12 million may not serve it. But for those of you living under a rock who have not heard, even though Breonna Taylor's family did receive $12 million, the Kentucky grand jury has decided that no charges will be against the Louisville police for the killing of Breonna Taylor during the drug raid that went wrong going into her house.
Say that one more time so that everybody can understand how clear this is.
Yes, absolutely. 0 charges for the no-knock warrant for the officers that fired their weapons at the Black woman sleeping peacefully, minding her business in her home. Instead, the grand jury has decided that they're going to fire Officer Brett Hankinson with 3 counts of wanton endangerment for firing into Taylor's neighbors' homes during the raid that happened on March 13th, meaning that her life isn't as valuable as the potential gunshots that could have hit the innocent bystanders sleeping in the apartments next door. So that's the only reason why he's getting any charges at all. So please, you guys, tell me how you feel about this no justice, no peace, fuck Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron and this decision. Go ahead, go. Go, Ron, go.
I mean, Ron was itching too, like me.
Oh man. Okay, listen. You know, until to that day that you know, the general came out, the district attorney came out and said what he had to say about the charges they were going to apply. I didn't really know much about the case. Like I just heard, you know, what happened, and it was a no-knock warrant, and she was supposed to be asleep. But now I got a whole different outlook of what happened. I'm not saying, now trust me, hear me out, please don't twist my words when I'm saying this. I'm not saying that it's okay to kill a young lady, but what they said, what I've heard, and this I don't know, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, was this is how it happened. They had a no-knock warrant to go in the house. The two cops didn't know, didn't read the warrant or anything. They were just part of the team going in. They knock on the door. They knock on this. They don't even supposed to knock. If there's a no-knock warrant, you're supposed to just go in and do what you got to do. They went in, knocked on the door, If they didn't hear the police, that's fine. That's, you know, whatever. But it was, what's his name's boyfriend heard him coming in. So as soon as they knocked the door down, he shot. So as he shot one in the leg. So he shot he was the first one to shoot. And then they just shot back. And then happened to be they killed Breonna. Breonna was not, this is what I'm hearing now, like I said, I could be wrong. She wasn't asleep. She was actually next to him in the hallway while he was pointing a gun when they was about to jump in, you know, break the door down. So he shot and they just shot back. So that's why they're not getting charged for what, you know, for a murder, because it was like almost like self-defense. And if you really look at it, no, you know, you're right. It wasn't right that she died in the process because they shot so many times. I think that's just too much excessive. Okay, but then you got to think about it too. And I'm just looking at it. If I was a cop and I'm going in, I get shot, I'm shooting back. I'm not going to run away. I'm shooting back. You know what I mean? So it just happened to be it was excessive. They had like 30 shots inside the house. 10 of them was from old boy that shot outside and shot to the neighbor's yard, window or whatever. So that's my outtake on that, man. It's a tragic that she's dead. And yeah, they need to look at the warrant and stuff like that and look into more, because it's something missing. If that's all they got, and you know, and all I heard was he get shot, he shot first and they shot him back, then they got a case. But it must be something else to it, because it's stirring up too much controversy right now. And that's what I read, that's what I heard. So I don't know. Tell me anything different. You know what I mean?
What are the laws? What are the laws when it comes to gun control? When it comes to somebody like even the police intruding your home without your consent? I mean, don't you have the right to shoot if you don't know who's coming to the door?
Again, every state has different laws.
Right.
So that's
Her
that.
boyfriend had a gun permit to have it. They
Right.
were confined to their own home. They
Right.
actually were at the wrong home. And I think, you know, if this was your child and you know that your child's character is your son's not involved in anything, and this happened to your child, would you feel the same way? That, oh well.
No. You know what? I'm not condoning it. You know what I mean, Les? Trust me, I'm not. But I'm just looking at it like what I saw and what I'm hearing. Now, like I said, I can be wrong. I didn't look into the whole case the whole time. But now how stuff is coming out, I'm thinking to myself, well, what damn? If that's the case, then yeah, they don't have a case, because they came in, he shot first, and they shooting back. Now, yes, they got some money for, you know, for the whole situation, and you can't buy a person's life. I understand that, you know, I'm with it. I understand, man. You know, I feel sorry, man. There's a tragic thing that happened, but I'm saying if that's true what they're saying, they had just to do what they did because somebody shot at them. So now, you know what I mean? Now, the whole thing that I'm reading on is that what they're saying is that they never, the district attorney or whatever, never even filed or even looked into, you know, having any death charges against the two other cops. You know, so that's what they're trying to figure out and look at the warrant to see what the warrant said and why were they even there and all that, you know, all that. But what I heard and what I got from that day thing is that they were warranted for what they did. Now, the guy shooting outside into a house, yeah, like that. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard that.
So yeah, like that. So I'm just saying, you know, it's. I don't know, man. I don't know what y'all think, but like I said,
okay.
I just haven't heard everything. Maybe I'm wrong,
Okay.
man.
All right, Les. All right, Ron, we got you. You know what I'm saying? Breathe, brother, breathe. First, the no-knock warrant. First and foremost, the person that they were looking for was not there. They already had in custody. That's number one. Number two, they were serving this warrant knowing that she was going to be home alone. They knew she was going to be at the house by herself. And so in that, I asked the question, if you knew that she was going to be at the house by herself, why did you guys come with so much armor and guns and batarang and all that stuff for a young lady? That's number two, okay? Number 3 is when they did the no knock, the officer said they announced themselves. Everybody that was in the facility that they interviewed said they didn't hear that. The one person that they said that they did, they interviewed this person 3 more times after that, after it happened. So they talked to him when it happened and interviewed him 3 more times after that, and he changed his answer to "I heard it." So then you ask the question, like, you didn't interview all the other 12 people. It was this one person that you guys kept. So obviously you had something on him, and you were pressuring him or pressuring her, pressuring this person to change their statement, because you needed one person to say, "Yeah, I heard it." And then once you got it, now you have a chance now to say, because now if everybody said they didn't hear it, these officers are going to be in trouble now, because that means that no one heard it. Okay, that's number 3. Number 4, at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, Ron, if you sleep, knocked out, and somebody comes knock on the door, and they knock on the door and say "police," you know you didn't hear that. There's no way you heard that. There's no way. Because they're knocking on the door, "police," and then coming in. If you're asleep, there's no way you can hear that. So of course, if I hear somebody coming in my door, I grab my gun that I have a permit for and I have a right for it, and I don't know who they are. Of course, I'm popping back.
Right.
Okay.
I'm
now,
shooting.
and I say this: how is it that the person that shot never got hit? The one person that shot the gun never got hit, but she got hit 6 times, 5, 6 times. That's really weird to me. It's a lot that goes, and on top of, when you hear her mother tell the story, which my heart breaks for her. My heart breaks for her. But when you hear her tell the story, when she got on the scene and how they made her go the run around and how they were trying to cover up stuff, because and stuff like it really makes you try to figure out, what are you trying to hide? Because they're hiding something. They're hiding something, because this ain't a situation where literally it's like the police investigating themselves. This is all this is. It's the police investigating themselves. It's because the DA, which no DA should be investigating or taking a police officer to trial. None. Is because they work with these police officers on a day-to-day basis. And so they look out for them to make sure that if you got my back, I got your back. The thing that bothers me the most out of all of this, that she lost her life. That's number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 is the fact that in her losing her life is the fact that this continues to tell America that Black people's lives are worthless. You are telling me that the wall that's behind you, Ron, Les, that wall is more valuable than that young girl's life. There's no way in the world that she got shot 6 times, 5, 6 times, and the person that shot didn't get shot once? Not even a nick. And you telling me they're covering something up? They're covering something up. And the fact that the DA is in the pocket of Donald Trump plays another part. He knew going into, he did a speech at the RNC. Before he even did the speech at the RNC, the situation happened. Some of the talking points in what he talked about in his press conference is the same rhetoric that the President of the United States used. For me, at the end of the day, it's frustrating because, again, another Black person has been murdered by law enforcement, and this government, this system, which everybody say the system is broke. The system is not broke. This is what the system was made to do. This is what the system is. We have to get people like us into these seats to start changing some of these laws. And this is what they're scared of. That's the reason why they go after AOC and Ilhan, I forgot her last name, out of Minnesota. That's why they go after these, is because these are the ones that's gonna start making changes, and these folks don't want changes. That's it, I'm done, because I'm pissed.
We're all pissed. And it's just like Malcolm X said, that the Black woman is the most disrespected person on the planet. And there's not enough money in the world for the justice that needs to be done for Breonna Taylor. Granted, we will never know all the details, period, point blank. There will be cover-ups amongst cover-ups cover-ups, regardless of the law in Kentucky and of them already changing the mandate now that the no-knock warrant is going to disappear.
Right.
But the fact that you do not have
Liz, you're right.
diligence done of knowing who was behind this address that you were sent to,
Right.
counts for something. And
But Liz, you're right though. You said that we'll never know. He even said it in the press conference because one of the reporters asked him, like, are you going to release the documents of the court? He said no.
And those documents have been doctored up 100 different ways. So we'll never know the truth. We just know that there's been no justice. And $12 million, like I said, is a Band-Aid. It's not going to heal it. All right,
Hey,
that's
Stephanie?
it for my. Oh, did you want to chime in, Kay, Stephanie?
I mean, I agree with everybody pretty much, you know, to sum it up. It's unfortunate. It's sickening, but I wasn't totally surprised, to be honest, when I heard the news. And yeah, I mean, that's all I have to say, to be honest. I mean, it's sickening, to say the least. So.
And like I put on my page, the meme or the statement that's going on is that Breonna, because of this outcome, Breonna Taylor was murdered twice now. That's it for the somewhat non-entertaining news.
No, but this is what we need to talk about. This is the topic that's going on in the world, and it should be talked about. And you know, Les, and Ron, and Kate, Stephanie, another thing that bothered me, the protest. They set up, they knew that they already had their answer. They already knew what was going to happen. That's the reason why 2 days ahead of time, they started getting law enforcement in order, started boarding up walls and stuff like that, because they knew the answer that was going to come down and people were going to protest. Now, see, here's another thing that, you know, that we have to understand and realize. When it comes to us protesting, and they can float around like it's the First Amendment, it's your right to protest and this, that, and the other. See, this is where, you know, for us, we don't have the right. In their eyes, we don't have the right to protest. It's because if you would have saw the other day in the protest, they're peacefully protesting, walking up, down the street and everything. They are met by the police officers. They are met by, so again, you already know the climate of what it is. If somebody comes at you aggressively, what is your natural state to do? To come back aggressive also. These police officers, again, here we go of, you are here to protect and serve. There's no reason why a peaceful protest should have turned ugly the other day. And it only turned ugly is because the police officers turned it ugly. And this is what they want. They want to tell their base They want to tell their base, see, told you, there's no peaceful protests, and see how they out of here acting up, burning up, and doing this, that, and the other. But in the beginning, how did it get started? How did
they show the aftermath, but they don't show how it, yeah, like you said,
how it got started? Because literally, again, you're supposed to protect and serve. So if they're in a peaceful protest, you should have been, as law enforcement, outside of riot gear and all this other stuff that you guys got on, you should have been assisting them. That's your job. These are taxpayers that's paying your salary. You should have been assisting them. But as soon as they met, it's conflict off the bat. For what? They were peaceful for hours. Hours, peaceful for hours. And until they ran into the police officers, that's when it turned ugly.
Well, you guys comment below. Let us know how you feel, what's on your mind, what's on your thoughts. Again, protect yourselves while you're out there, not just from COVID, but watch your front, watch your back from the Karens, from the police. Teach your kids what it is. And thank you for rocking with the Spin Room.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to advertise and sponsor the Spin Room, please send us an email at the Spin Room. That's THASPINROOM @gmail.com. So the Spin Room @gmail.com. Shoot us an email. That's K Stephanie. That's Big Lez. That's DJ Ron C. I'll be your man, Bigg Pwee, on this Monday. Enjoy the rest of your week. All right. Peace.
Yeah, you are now live